Welcome back. So visitor logs show former Biden family business partner Rob Walker visited the White House at least 16 times while Joe was vice president. A Fox News digital review finds 7 of those visits were listed as a tour of White House grounds, while 2 have no reason listed. The House Oversight Committee released banking transactions which show Rob Walker sending Hunter Biden, James Biden, and Haley Biden, and an unnamed Biden portions of a $3 million check that he received from a Chinese energy company and its officials. Joining me now is former Arkansas governor, former presidential candidate Mike Huckabee. Governor, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here. We have the bank records. We know that there was an email that Hunter Biden had. He was talking with his partners in China saying, we've done everything you asked us to do. You haven't done anything for us yet lately. You haven't done anything for us yet. Within a 3-week period, a $3 million check was sent to Rob Walker's account. The next day, more than $1 million of that $3 million was distributed to Biden family members. Your thoughts?
16 visits to the White House, mostly to look around the grounds. I mean, it's going to be the remake of the movie The Accidental Tourist. This guy visited the White House more than some staff members have been there. This is absurd, and we've been told repeatedly that Joe Biden didn't know anything about Hunter's business dealings. Well, he was oblivious to the whole thing. He said that on a debate. I mean, it's just absurd. And the more we find out, the more we realize how much we've been lied to. And it's time for the truth to come out and somebody to own up to where this money really does come from. And it appears a lot of it is from the Communist Chinese Party and its affiliated businesses.
Well, I mean, you would think that even Democrats would be unnerved by this, given the fact that the CCP wants to overtake the United States as the #1 superpower. I mean, who knows what China has on Joe Biden at this point?
I think he's the most compromised president in U.S. history. I mean, these relationships are not just about business. They're about putting really tight reins on a U.S. president and being able to say to him, don't you go there, because if you do, we're going to release the documents.
Yeah.
We don't know. And that's the real, I think, frightening part of this. And Congress has to be able to get the information. But Joe Biden's got to own up to some stuff, and he hasn't. And it's high time that Democrats recognize that this is a serious issue for the country. This isn't about just the party of the Democrats versus the Republicans. This really is about national security and whether or not we have been, in essence, compromised by the China government.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley and Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson did their own investigation of this. And Ron Johnson told me on Sunday that it was only one bank, Cathay Bank, that actually provided bank records. He said, oh, this is a bank that's, you know, a quote unquote Chinese bank. I want to make sure our audience understands Cathay Bank is an American bank. It was founded and headquartered and publicly traded in the United States, and it serves the Chinese American community. Founded more than 60 years ago in Los Angeles, where it's still based, Cathay tells us it in no way is owned or controlled by the Chinese government, and any suggestion to the contrary is false. But we hear Ron Johnson telling us that's the only bank that would give up the records. Now, James Comer says he's gotten one deal records, but there are 11 other deals that he's pressing Bank of America and other U.S. banks to give him those bank records. Do you think we'll find out more? And if we do, don't you need a willing DOJ to actually move the needle and take the next steps? Could the Republicans really get to the bottom of this if you don't have a willing DOJ?
No, you really can't. And that's one of the problems when you have government entities who just don't respect the law. Really, this goes to the heart of the Constitution and separation of powers and oversight responsibilities. As somebody who spent my time in government service in the executive branch, I hated oversight. To be honest with you, I don't know of anybody in the executive branch that likes it. And sometimes, you know, the legislators, they want to stick their nose in a whole lot of people's business and make it uncomfortable and frankly, just cumbersome. But that's the whole point of it. Government is supposed to be messy. Well, it is. But this is a case where the members of Congress have every constitutional, not right, they have a
duty.
responsibility to look into these things, and they must do it.
Governor, I got to switch gears and ask you about this IRS story. We're all, I would say, outraged at this story. The panel was with me this morning. We're all outraged at the fact that Matt Taibbi goes and testifies, and he exposes, thanks to Elon Musk, what looks like collusion between the FBI and Twitter to suppress truth, to amplify lies. Now, on that same day he's testifying, an IRS agent shows up at his home. Was he trying to intimidate him? The IRS is refusing to comment on why agents conducted this unannounced visit of this independent journalist's home, Matt Taibbi's home, the same day he was testifying on government censorship before Congress. What is going on here, Governor?
Well, it's government overreach, you know, in the nth degree. I think everybody ought to be outraged. I mean, my gosh, Avon doesn't even ring our doorbells anymore, but now the IRS is going to do it? Come on. This is crazy. The IRS doesn't need to come to our homes. They can send us a letter, they can email, they can give us a phone call. But my gosh, this is unprecedented. Joe Biden wants 87,000 more of them, all carefully armed. What, to come to our homes and intimidate the heck out of us?
Yeah, and Kayleigh made the point.
Really disturbing.
Kayleigh made the point earlier. What, this happened under the Obama administration as well. Lois Lerner.
Yep.
Yeah, Governor. I mean,
it did, and
yeah.
It does seem like this was an intentional effort to intimidate a witness who was raising concerns about free speech in this country. So should other Americans be concerned that this could potentially happen to them?
Are they next?
I think other Americans are concerned. You know what I worry about? Why isn't the press concerned?
I know.
Where's the outrage among the members of the mainstream media? How come Morning Joke isn't talking about this? How come we're not hearing it on the other networks? Why don't we have front page articles in the Washington Post and New York Times? What are they covering for? Who are they covering for, and why?
That's unbelievable.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know that too.
We know, Governor. They're rooting for the IRS and the wheels of government, and unfortunately, that's part of the problem.
Yeah, are they rooting for the drug cartels too? Wow.
Well, you wonder.
Mike Huckabee, thank you. Great to see you. I love all your one-liners, the Avon lady. I mean, you know, you're Sarah Sanders' father, and that's why we love you. Thank you so much, sir.